Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Not only was what transpired in that courtroom chaotic, but it was also radioactive. Remy Ma, the Bronx-born rap queen, is the subject of our discussion. She may be seen screaming and fainting on the ground. And why? Because Papoose, her man, got up and made the kind of revelation that broke everything. Ever ponder what actually transpired between Claressa Shields and Papoose? Yes, we have all heard the rumors, the looks at the BET Awards, and the late-night training sessions. However, Papoose came clean yesterday in front of a surprised courtroom. The one Remy pleaded with him not to bring up that evening. And his words left Remy on the ground and Jaws on the floor. And as cool as ever, Claressa merely stared straight ahead without blinking or moving, as if she had anticipated this. This is not a work of tabloid fiction. This is a blatant betrayal that was seen on camera in real time in court. Additionally, we have the breakdown that no one else is willing to share. Stay tuned because what we're going to show you will make you question whether or not Rhee's marriage even happened. This isn't just another celebrity scandal. Ladies and gentlemen, Netflix bosses would swoon over this type of courtroom mayhem. At the heart of it all is a very damaged queen, bombshells, and betrayal. Remy Ma collapsed in front of an open court, as her so-called king, Papoose, stood on his tiptoes and confessed to something that nobody was ready to hear. Let's go back in time now. Because Tuesday in court wasn't just any old Tuesday. Oh no. After a witness, hello Jasmine Dior, the daughter of one of Remy's previous antagonists, resurfaced with fresh accusations. The hearing was supposed to be procedural, a regular appearance involving Remy's continuing legal drama connected to an earlier assault case. But rather than maintaining the focus on herself, Remy was taken aback by something much more profound and intimate. Imagine this. It is tense in the courtroom. There are reporters in the front. Sketch artists are prepared, but cameras are prohibited. Remy Ma is standing there with her head held high, looking bulletproof in her black power suit. Claressa Shields, however, in the rear corner. Like she didn't just show up to ruin someone's marriage. The unbeaten boxing champion sipped water while sitting quietly behind a pair of huge sunglasses. Papoose, who appeared to be a man torn between a cliff and a grenade, was standing next to her. Now, you must know about that night in order to comprehend why this event detonated the way it did. Nobody has the courage to confirm the night that everyone in the industry is speculating about. The night it all began when Papoose was allegedly practicing with Claressa late into the night while Remy Ma was on tour out of town, relying on her spouse to keep the peace. Between those ropes, what transpired? Well, nobody knew until yesterday. The entire courtroom is now aware. Let's unpack it then. Papoose was called to the witness stand as part of a procedural defense motion. According to several anonymous insiders who, let's face it, were most likely simply the courtroom janitors texting bloggers from the hallway. It's just a statement. Nothing spectacular. But something changed when he climbed up there. His voice faltered. His attorney attempted to step in. The judge seems uneasy as well. Then all of a sudden, Papoose declared, "I owe the truth to this court and to my wife, even if it means the end of the world." He gave Remy a direct glance. She tensed up. Claressa remained still. Then he spoke it. The courtroom fell silent as a result. It was more than just practice. It went farther that night with Claressa, he acknowledged. Screaming, quiet, and then Remy Ma's collapse. People hurried over to her. Paramedics were called by court personnel. It's like a funeral drumline. The judge beat his gavel. Claressa continued to drink the water as if it were chamomile tea. Was all of this a setup? A long overdue confession simmering in a pressure cooker of secrets, or a well-timed betrayal? Let's discuss motivation. Because this was more than simply adultery. Emotional warfare was what this was. Keep in mind that Remy Ma and Claressa Shields have a long and silent feud. It all stems from those combined appearances in 2018. when Remy allegedly advised producers not to put them on the same panel, and Claressa was dubbed the female face of hip-hop boxing. A few years later, Claressa appears mysteriously everywhere. Backstage interviews, charity functions, papooses, and even quiet studio evenings that nobody thought to share until Remy was tagged. But hold on, the internet remembers. The notorious video from the Bet Weekend afterparty last year shows Claressa and Papoose getting out of the same car around 3:17 a.m., only 2 doors open in the video. Despite their claims that it was a group ride, not even in the city was Remy. However, Papoose was given the benefit of the doubt by most supporters. Uncertainty. Why? He waited for her during her prison stint, protected her from media harassment, and raised her children as if they were his own because he made his entire career out of being Remy's soldier. Up until this point, Papoose served as the brand's spokesperson for loyalty. What changed then? People close to the couple say that things haven't been going well for some time. According to sources, Remy's aggressive rebranding foray into mainstream TV, economic endeavors, and purported creative departure from Papoose caused a change in their dynamic. Rumors of a cooling-off period have been circulating for months, and she has been seen at more occasions lately without him than with him. Furthermore, Claressa has been subtly loyal to every brand Papoose owns. Pressing at the moment. The wording on the ring is obvious to anybody, even Sherlock Holmes. Let's go back to that courtroom incident, though, since it wasn't only the confession that was the most unsettling aspect of it all. It was the fallout. Remy didn't look at Papoose as paramedics assisted her up, not once, but she stared at Claressa for a long time. Let's be clear, the type that says, yeah, it happened, and I'm not sorry. What Papoose meant when he said went further has not been officially confirmed. It's just a chilly confession and the devastation it left behind. No recording, no pictures. However, the harm is already done in the realm of celebrity courtrooms, where perception and reality conflate more quickly than a TMZ headline. Finished. And the fans, though, they're going completely crazy. In a matter of minutes, Twitter took off. #Remy Ma was a global sensation. It was deemed a betrayal by several fans. Some referred to it as karma for previous conflicts. However, everyone, and we mean everyone, had a single query. What actually transpired with Claressa that evening? More significantly, why now? The internet did not just react when word of Remy Ma's courtroom collapse went viral. It blew up. Remy Ma, Papoose, and Claressa Shields were all in the top 5, globally within minutes. The timeline was attacked by memes. Prior to her leaving the stretcher, according to their own stories of what actually transpired that evening, the so-called exclusive insiders started to emerge from every digital sewer like clockwork. Let's begin with the most important one. The security footage that was leaked was purportedly taken from a private gym in Jersey. Online, a grainy, green-tinted video purportedly shows Papoose and Claressa by themselves, with the lights down, their gloves off, and a close-knit lean that has nothing to do with sparring. Just as their hands make contact, the video ends. Just enough to keep the internet guessing, or coincidental. The audio clip followed. "I never meant for it to happen like that. Don't tell Remy." A man who sounds suspiciously like Papoose whispers in an enigmatic 47-second recording. Could it be a fake? Naturally. It's a celeb tycoon, though. We don't wait for approval. We examine the atmosphere. Additionally, the mood is blatantly guilty. Papoose and Claressa had been secretly emotionally linked for more than a year, according to unnamed sources that bloggers were quoting within hours, under false pretenses. One even claimed the two spent a weekend together at an Airbnb in Miami, the name under which Mr. and Mrs. Black were reserved, the original. Not at all worried. However, it wasn't simply fans and vloggers who were interested in fires. Verified celebrities even began to comment. Papoose wasn't entirely clean, as Funkmaster Flex tweeted told. Y'all, years ago, without a backstory, no man is that patient. Cardi B sent a single emoji of an eyeball. That's all, only eyes. However, that was enough for followers to go into full conspiracy mode because it came from her. Within minutes, screenshots of the previous Remy Cardi drama reappeared, suggesting that this was all long-standing industry retaliation. Then the SMS texts arrived. Screenshots of Papoose sending texts such as "just say" were released from an iCloud backup purportedly owned by Claressa. The word "and I'll leave everything behind." One even featured a timestamp that corresponded to the same evening of the purported training session. Let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of the chaos. The messiest betrayal scandal in hip-hop since Jay and Boz's elevator encounter now centered on Remy Ma. The same woman who built a career out of being unyielding. It wasn't an elevator, though. The courthouse was here. And we got a full body. Collapse, paramedics, and a confession that will be taught in Scandal School 101 instead of a mute nod. Here's the real kicker, though. According to sources close to Claressa, she came to testify against Remy rather than to defend Papoose. Hold on, what? Yes, you heard correctly. The true reason Claressa was in court may not have had anything to do with romance. While the internet was busy reliving the collapse, freaking out about that night, and wondering whether she had just taken someone else's man. According to others, she was ready to publish Remy's claimed threats regarding a previous fight with an unidentified female rapper. Who cares if the court records that have been disclosed are fake? In a sealed declaration, Claressa claimed that Ree's crew had emotionally intimidated her and sabotaged her reputation. Was Papoose's confession a result of a spontaneous outburst or a calculated treachery? If Claressa came to speak against Remy and he was compelled to testify at the same hearing? Let's move on to what's left of Ree's inner group. This is not what we rehearsed. Tanya Martinez, a longtime publicist, was reportedly seen shouting into her phone as she stormed out of the courtroom mid-hearing. Oh, you rehearsed this, girl? What kind of press run were y'all planning? Her stylist captioned an Instagram story with a destroyed makeup palette and the words, "Can't glom rage." And her legal team. According to rumors, 2 lawyers left the case soon after Papoose's testimony, stating that they couldn't agree on how to communicate with clients. In other words, they didn't agree to this kind of drama. Papoose hasn't spoken to the media directly, but a member of his team did. And a purported family representative informed bloggers that Papoose didn't intend to confess, but he broke down under pressure after seeing Claressa in the courtroom. Emotional impulse or guilt, that kind of slip that changes legacies. Not to mention the fan theories that are all over the internet. Some claim that Claressa set it up to ruin Remy's reputation and establish herself as the new power woman next to Papoose. Others think Remy's own team leaked the affair in an attempt to hide a more serious secret involving alleged financial fraud connected to her merch company. Yes, you read correctly. There is even a theory that this entire courtroom drama is a diversion from an impending IRS audit. In a now viral TikTok, the stylist who previously worked with Claressa and Remy revealed shocking information. She said she saw Papoose and Claressa fighting in a dressing room during a shoot last fall. And Claressa allegedly said, "You said she didn't matter anymore." And guess what? That photo shoot happened 2 days after Remy wrote the mysterious caption, "Loyalty speaks louder than lies," on Instagram. When you're not around, pay attention to who whispers. Even if 10% of this is real, the trust is gone. The internet is in flames, and the throne that Remy once stood on, unassailable, is gone. Y'all, we can't make this stuff up. Actually, we did. But still, it sounds good, right? Unbeaten, unflappable, now cracked, crumbling, and possibly permanently vacant. And Claressa, oh, she's just watching it all from the front row, sipping her water like she's at a Floyd Mayweather fight. But what happens now? Where does this all go from here? 'Cause, as you may recall, Remy didn't say a word after she got up a no statement. No glare, no threat. Just a blank stare at the man she once thought would take a bullet for her. And now he's the one who fired the shot. As the dust settled on what may be the most shocking courtroom confession in hip-hop history, the aftermath wasn't just emotional. It was disastrous, with legal firestorms, brand meltdowns, and a potential criminal twist. First, the legal ramifications. After the courtroom chaos, several outlets reported that Remy Ma's legal team was caught off guard by Papoose's testimony. Not because of what he said, but because of what had triggered it. By publicly acknowledging a deeper relationship with Claressa Shields. Papoose unwittingly gave prosecutors the opportunity to question the validity of Ree's previous alibi. As that alibi linked to a timeline of where she was that night, may now. Conflict with private communications she shared with both Papoose and Claressa. According to court insiders, new subpoenas have been filed that target text messages, direct messages, and even deleted WhatsApp threads between all three parties. Yes, the court wants everything. And they're looking into whether Remy pressured Claressa to keep quiet about something much more sinister. According to the insiders, that something involves an undisclosed settlement offer that Ree's team floated to Claressa months ago. A six-figure deal to settle past misunderstandings conveniently sent immediately after Claressa posted a cryptic tweet. Sometimes silence is paid, not earned. Is that a coincidence or a failed hush money attempt? Even longtime industry friends are pulling away from Remy, as evidenced by the quietly paused or canceled endorsement deals. The cancellation of a popular athletic brand with which she was set to launch a sneaker collaboration, and the indefinite hold of a streaming network that was approving a reality series about her, and Papoose's unbreakable bond. One leaked direct message shows a reality TV producer texting, "We can't have that energy around the franchise right now." Sources close to Remy's management team claimed that the demise of her joint venture line, a makeup brand she was launching under her daughter's name, and the courtroom breakdown and cheating scandal with a potential witness were bad optics for the brand. Could cost her more than $2 million in pre-launch investments. Investors have reportedly pulled out, citing reputational instability and volatile partner dynamics. Translation, they don't want their blushes associated with a marriage gone nuclear. But what about Papoose? He has surprisingly remained silent since that fateful day in court. No statement. No video, no damage control, but that silence has sparked its own set of rumors. According to one particularly wild theory, he has gone off the grid. Allegedly staying in a private villa owned by Swizz Beatz, who has stepped in to mediate between the two. Another theory suggests he is in negotiations with a publisher for HMK. I Like to Lose Sixer for a tell-all memoir called Pap Truth, Loyalty, Lies, and the One Night That Changed Everything. Is it real? Who knows? But the mock cover is already making the rounds. Then there's Claressa Shields, the woman at the center of the controversy, who hasn't denied anything but has instead been taking advantage of the situation. She posted a picture of herself wearing boxing gloves 48 hours after the courtroom confession, captioning it, "Some punches land harder than others. Savage. Completely barbaric." However, behind the scenes, insiders say Claressa has hired a lawyer not for defense, but for a possible lawsuit, and her team is allegedly getting ready to sue several YouTubers and gossip blogs that claimed she was pregnant by Papoose and had broken up a marriage. In the final minutes of the hearing, as Remy Ma was being carried out and Claressa stood still, a hot mic captured Papoose saying, and we quote, "This was never about love, about love." As a result, there is no baby, no confirmation, but no denial either, which naturally only feeds the fire. Speaking of fire, let's talk about the ultimate betrayal twist. Because just when everyone thought this scandal had reached its peak, someone leaked the courtroom surveillance audio, and let's say it was wild. Truth was at issue. Some others see it as him finally making a decision. Boom. Mic drop. Internet breaks. The timing was devastating, and the audio leak became the last nail in the coffin for any hope of reconciliation. Others say it was a final jab at Remy, a woman who built her brand on authenticity but allegedly lived behind layers of deception. And where's Remy now? Insiders say she's checked out of the public eye. LLEGEDLY, recovering in a private estate owned by a family friend, with no phones, no press, just quiet. Some say she's refusing all interviews, while others say she's preparing for a surprise documentary to clear her name. Given Remy, it could be either, but this is the part we didn't see coming. Ree's been avoiding Karma for years, and I just gave Karma her seat in the courtroom. Jasmine said in a live stream after Dior, the original courtroom witness and daughter of one of Remy's former rivals, came forward and claimed to have told Claressa to appear in court. She then played a brief, muffled recording of a conversation in which Claressa is said to have said, "I didn't want to be part of it, but you're right." Ladies and gents, this rabbit hole doesn't end with a broken marriage. She needs to answer for what she did. Wait, answer for what? Nobody knows for sure yet. However, there are rumors of a deeper scandal that links long-standing rivalries, judicial betrayals, and possibly a long-buried murder. The question now isn't whether it happened, but rather how deep it goes. We began with a courtroom confession and ended up figuring out a possible love triangle, a betrayal plot, leaked surveillance, footage, possible perjury, and now the appearance of Jasmine Dior, who many believe has been planning this moment for years. Remy Ma, the ride or die, the loyal lioness, the woman who waited, survived and rebranded, collapsed not from physical pain, but from the emotional gut punch of truth. Papoose, the poet of loyalty, admitted under oath to a moment he can never take back, and Claressa's shields remained unbothered, untouched, and perhaps undefeated in multiple ways. And let's not forget Jasmine Dior's last words. She needs to answer for what she did. Answer for what, Jasmine? What aren't we being told? Don't hold back. Drop your theories in the comments. We want the wild ones, the receipts, and the screenshots. We'll be watching. And if you thought this was wild, just wait, because the next hearing is already scheduled, and from what we're hearing, more names are about to be dragged into the storm. The drama on Gossip Spill Vibe is just beginning. So hit the like, subscribe, and ring the bell buttons to avoid missing the next big moment.